London, one of the wealthiest cities in the world, its streets never quiet with the bustle of busy city workers, its skyline and landmarks see tourism at its peak, and the rich and the famous pay millions to reside in England's capital. Yet many are falling below the breadline, and some even lower than that. With over 8,000 rough sleepers every year, we are seeing the highest numbers of people in crisis.
I became homeless about a year and a half ago, just about. I was with this girl and I was gonna ask her to marry me at the Christmas, and I found out she was cheating on me. And she kicked me out, me and my dog out. So that's how I became homeless.
My situation is attributable to the British government not having any integrity and not providing any housing. So I've come from America to be told that there is no housing for me. Coming from sunny California to freezing cold, rough sleeping, I don't really think, since the council's decided to abandon me and the government also, that I will be around in 2018 if I don't go back inside.
My mum has got mental health problems, and she's basically kicked me and my sister out. It's the second time this year. We did go back, but yeah, she's not very stable at the moment, so we've ended up both homeless.
I ended up here because I went off travelling on a double-decker bus when I was 15 and went to a lot of festivals and got heavily into taking party drugs, if you like, and then ended up smuggling drugs, and the more drugs that I got involved with, the more messed up I got, and then ended up trying to get myself sorted, and now I'm on methadone and nowhere to live with no identification to even prove who I am, really. I was born in New Zealand, but I was only there for like 8 months, and because I have a New Zealand birth certificate, it kind of makes things difficult.
How long have you been on the streets for?
On and off, I'd say 18 years, on and off.
There are many, many others like Paul, and as Natalie from the Cardinal Hume Centre will explain, there just isn't enough housing out there for the thousands in need.
My name is Natalie Smith and I work at an organisation called the Cardinal Hume Centre. We're a Westminster-based agency, and we work with homelessness to give them skills so that they can move out of the cycle of poverty. The centre's been open since 1986. Our founder's Cardinal Basil Hume, and the main reason why he opened the centre is because he noted all the homeless people on the streets, mainly young people actually at that time. So what happened was he decided to build the centre as a response. So my role here at the moment is a housing advisor. So I can do anything from giving housing advice, challenging homeless decisions, or if there's a repair issue, I can deal with that. So it's quite a vast role. But I mean, my main role is prevention, homelessness prevention, and working with families. Well, what the Cardinal Hume Centre does, we try to give people the skills they need to come out of the cycle of poverty. So we have an education and learning department here. So for example, if we have a refugee that comes and they can't speak English, we will offer them ESOL classes, which is English for speakers of other languages. This will help them with their basic English, giving them a step closer to finding work. We also have an employment team for people who might be work ready or might need help with the CV or finding education, and it's just trying to break them out of this cycle of poverty. So that's our employment centre and learning centre. We also offer advice. So like I said, I'm a housing advisor. If somebody's going to become homeless because of rent arrears, I can advocate on their behalf. And as well as that, we've got a surgery attached to the centre. So and of course our residential projects.
Just like Natalie, there are others trying to do their bit for homelessness.
I'm Tim Foster. I'm head of Being Awesome at the Yummy Pub Company. self-made title, but I own Yummy. We have 6 pubs, 4 in London, 1 in Surrey and 1 in Kent, and we've been trading for just over 10 years.
Explain to me a bit about what Yummy Plus does with homeless people.
We work in partnership with New Horizons Youth Centre, which is next door to Summersound Coffee House, which is our 3rd site. We met Sheila, who runs New Horizons. I said, did they have any way of the kids getting into work? We'd done some stuff with autistic children a couple of years before at the Wildmill, put them into the kitchens, and realised that actually it's quite difficult to get into work if you don't actually know what you have to do. So we learned that with the autistic school, and I said to Sheila, had they got a programme where they could get people into work, because they had showers there, nurses to help them, that kind of stuff. And they hadn't really done anything from the recruitment side. Lots of construction work. So they had opportunity of going into construction, but nothing else really. We offered to take them, any of the kids that were coming through that showed ability to want to work. Ultimately, when I look back, I want to have what we've done and the impact that we've made to people's lives, because we own beautiful pubs, but they're just beautiful pubs without the people inside them. And the guys from next door bring something really special to the company. So they bring a real understanding around the rest of our team. People are really proud to help. It's not just coming to work. We just do what we can do because it works for us. And we can really genuinely change the lives of the kids that we've got coming into the business.
It is great to see these charities and companies trying to help rough sleepers, but ultimately, has the situation gone too far?
I don't know if there's a cure to homelessness in London. I think it's such a slow process because it's taken so long. Well, it's not taken so long. I think there's always been issues with homelessness, probably throughout the years, but I think what needs to happen is it's got to be from the top, really. Government policy needs to change and filter down to grassroots. That's what we really need. I think people end up on the streets. At the moment, it's a lot to do with miseducation. I think a lot of young people, for example, there might be a lot of relationship breakdowns with their family and they get evicted from home, and I just don't think families or the young people realise how difficult it is to find secure accommodation. I think a lot of people feel that there's social housing out there, council housing, which there isn't. It's really decreased.
I think people will always run away from home, and I think people will always have really difficult situations.
People need to change their attitude, people need to be educated, and I think there needs to be more of a community spirit about doing something more.
This man walking by could wind up on the street tomorrow, he don't know. This man could wind up on the street tomorrow, he don't know. It's like so Russian roulette it is, so Russian roulette. It's like fucking, it's not a nice place to be.
I'm on more lists than you can think of for places. I don't know. I think they do what they can. I'm pretty sure the money that gets funded to most charities doesn't go where it's supposed to, but
The money that people give you, like donations, where does that go to?
mainly on cheap housing. I buy a few beers, tobacco, just things to kind of numb my existence, really.
It's horrible, especially because I've got my younger sister with me. Like, she's 22, but she looks about 15, and the thought of her being out, I don't worry about myself too much, but yeah, the thought of her being out is horrible.
People that are on the street that ask for money, they don't like to ask for money. I don't like to ask for money, you know, but the people that help you out giving you the money realise that you need the help. To ask for money is very demoralising, very degrading, but you have to do it. You have to do it to survive. Simple as that.
Unfortunately, without major action, London's homeless situation isn't changing anytime soon, but people's attitudes can. Everyone on the street has their own story, their own background, their own hopes, their own dreams. We are all human. And who are we as human beings to ignore the suffering of others?